Well, I have a special announcement.
Oh,
I
do
have
you?
a lose to win scoop for man versus fat.
Welcome back to the Lose to Win podcast with myself, Josh, Jack, and Ben is back this week after another
Evening.
week's hiatus. How are you doing?
Yay, hooray. Yeah, sorry I was away. I missed it last week. I was upset. I wanted to speak to Josh, but hey, it was a good pod. I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah. Well, you almost lost your job last week, mate.
Fair, mate. That's all right. That's all right.
After not mentioning in the chat that you hadn't listened yet, we were advertising the role.
Well, it was only an hour after it went out, to be fair, and some of us do actually work on a Friday.
How dare you?
Surely you could listen in the background. You should be spreading it amongst your colleagues, mate, in the office. Yeah. Just like put it on loudspeaker.
Nobody in my office has any interest in football at all. None.
They don't need to. That's the great thing about
that's
pod,
true.
They
don't have any interest in weight loss either.
No, should have an interest in your health and well-being, though, Ben. That's what they should have.
Yeah, they should. You're right. I'll tell them. I'll force them to listen.
I found out this evening that my daughter's listened to a couple of episodes.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've got to be a bit more careful with my language. So
well, it's funny because I mark all of them as explicit.
Yeah.
When we go to you,
she's used to that, though.
There's always one word in there.
She is absolutely used to it. She stumbled across it because Jordan did his podcast where he actually had Alf on, his son, to talk about his experience being a mascot.
Yeah.
And he shared it in our little family WhatsApp group. So Tay listened to that and really enjoyed it. And then apparently she was like, "Mummy, what's Daddy's podcast called?" And she told her. And so she's listened to a couple of episodes, and I literally just put her to bed, and she's like, "Are you recording the podcast now?" And I was like, yeah. She goes, "Can I listen to it live?" I was like, "No, it'll come Friday afternoon, darling."
No.
But yeah, I now have to be super careful.
You can listen to a heavily edited version.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I might have to pretend that she can't access it anymore, or just kind of make sure I'm a bit more careful on it to make sure she can listen to it. But she is the founder and the leading member of the Josh Davis fan club. She absolutely adores Josh. Josh came to, or I should say, Taylor came to Brighton with us, didn't she, to watch the Bournemouth-Brighton game?
Yeah, love that.
And she absolutely adores Josh.
You know what? I've still got her homework somewhere. She did pretty good. I say that, by the way, now, and I'm realising I might have to cut this part if I don't. If
she can hear
listen.
it. No, you can't.
Because I need to be able to find it. But
I can't even remember how we got on the subject. She had, I think she was playing Disney tunes in the car on the way up, and I think she was asking you which ones you knew and quizzing you on them. So she ended up writing a quiz out for Josh to complete, which was very sweet.
I'm going to be so bad now. I'm going to stick my foot right in it, having said that, and I won't be able to find it now.
Yeah. The Josh Davis fan club would be closed down when she hears this and finds out that the only member in the club has left. But yeah, long story short, she's she thoroughly has enjoyed it so far. And I said, has my language been too bad? And she's like, "No, nothing. I'm not used to." So yeah, there we go. Good. That's not good.
I'm sure I have a couple more members of the Josh Davis fan club. I know
maybe a few.
My mum or dad listen or something like that.
I'm sure your dad's in there.
My sister, maybe.
Yeah.
If they're listening, they'll have to let me know.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm back. So yes.
Yeah, it's great to have you back, mate.
Thanks.
I gutted you missed Josh's.
Yeah, I was looking
Josh's
forward to talking to him, but yeah, fair play.
Yeah, hopefully, we asked the type of questions that you would have asked.
I think so, mate.
We know you like to give our guests a good examination.
I'll just get a bit of inside information, and everyone's different, aren't they? So everyone has different motivations, and it's interesting to hear what people do and their own experiences. So yeah,
it was interesting to hear that him and Harry, I believe, who'd previously had on here, had mentioned about ready meals, and you obviously both been very successful.
Yeah.
In doing that on the same team, obviously, for the last season or two, isn't it? I actually can't remember how long.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense as well
since the birth of the new Blues
calorie control.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they're able to just exactly know what they've had, and I think
it
also eliminates the laziness around cooking. So if you're in a position like a little behind the curtain, listeners, I've had a pot noodle for dinner whilst we were talking kind of our little preamble before the recording, and that's as much as I've got.
400 calories in a pot noodle, by the way.
And yeah, that's a lot, to be fair, isn't it? But yeah, I think that's a prime example of not having enough time to do it. And if I'd had a ready meal, I probably would have waffed that down instead, and it would have been probably better for me and more controlled in terms of the calories and so forth. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It's something that I'm going to definitely.
It also can help with portion control, can't it? Because they're already kind of divvied up into portions. Depending if you get one of those, family size ones, you can probably find serves 4.
Defeats the object a little bit.
But yeah, I mean, also like if you combine that with some tracking software that can scan the barcodes, which I've got like Fat Secret just scans a barcode for you. It's just easy. Just literally scan it, put the grammage in, and then just adds it straight in. No worries. And really easy to track that way. So I completely get it. Yeah. And there is a decent variety of different things you can get in there for ready meals. I just don't think I've got in my head over that idea if I walked into the shop, Tesco, and I bought like 15 to 20 ready meals or something like that, it just feels like the wrong thing to be walking out the shop with.
You need a chest freezer to put them all in.
Yeah, just get like, when you can get fresh stuff and try and cook something,
Yeah, so you have to be a little bit careful around ultra processed foods. That's a biggie. I mean, I don't think it's a long term. I don't think personally, and I'm not saying anything to anybody else, saying personally, I would struggle to do that long term because of the ultra processed nature of the food, and that's really not very good for you. But as what you're saying is from a calorie controlled, an easy way of starting the process. I mean, for people that have got weight that they need to lose, I think it's a great way of doing it. Long term though, I think you need to look elsewhere for sort of sustainability, because that you're going to make yourself a little bit poorly with all the ultra processed food that you're eating. It's not going to be particularly good for you long term. So I would just be a bit wary of that. There's lots of info around ultra processed food and the dangers of and why society is the way it is, and it's not anybody's fault. It's just because we've got used to eating what is supplied to us or what is around us, and it happens to be that food has evolved, especially fast food has evolved into this soft, quick, deliciously flavoursome, and it hits all the right notes. It's salty, it's fatty, it's all the good things that make you want to eat it more, but it's incredibly bad for you, and that's why we're having the problems that we are. So it's quite an interesting one. There's lots of study around ultra processed food and the damage that it does to you long term. So
yeah, I guess it's a compromise, isn't it?
Of course it is.
I think it depends where you are in your journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
As you say, if you're starting out, it's definitely a good way to track your calories and start moving forward, especially if your diet is even more processed than that. If it's so there's always, but then slowly as you go forward, I guess it makes sense to start replacing that kind of thing slowly. And so if you get towards your maintenance level, or
absolutely
you just lose enough and you feel more comfortable to start changing it up a little bit and cooking more or whatever it is. Obviously there's an element of the time element, which we've always discussed, and thing about a ready meal is it's easy to save time, as we said. So it's different strokes for different folks, as they say.
Absolutely. Yeah, totally.
So how have you been then, lads? Just quickly, this week, good going, bad going, all right, ready for today, I should say, Friday when this goes out.
Yeah, I've had a good week. I'd had a busy last weekend. It was my son's birthday, so we had just before football last week, actually, had my son's birthday party, which was a bloody nightmare because they had cake and beige buffet and all that kind of stuff. So it was very, very good for like 2.5 hours. I didn't touch a single thing. I didn't have a single thing. I didn't have a drop. It was weighing in. So, but I did have some cake when I got home.
Yeah, I was going to say, was anything saved for you?
Oh yeah. Like half a box of Pringles and some cake was my evening foray with a couple of glasses of wine, which was nice. And then we went out for dinner on Sunday, which was a full-on roast, which was nice. But
nice.
First weigh-in today, which we're on Wednesday. So this morning I was down 0.3, I think, on last week. So should be a loss this week, which is good.
Should be good then.
Yeah, nice.
How about you, Jack, mate?
Yeah, it's been a ridiculously hectic week. Super Bowl weekend as well, so overindulged in the evening with pizza and nachos and that sort of thing.
Did you stay up, watch the whole thing?
Yeah, watched the whole thing. Yeah. We're talking about again, just before we started talking about darts, I think me and Luke finished our last game of darts at like 4:30 in the morning, and he's like, right, I think I better go home. I'm like, yeah, fair point. So I had Luke and Jordan round, and we had the darts board up, so we were playing darts pre, and then at half time, and then a little bit after as well. But yeah, it was good. It was good fun, and I cracked Luke and Jordan up because I don't know a lot about it, and Jordan had done like NFL bingo cards. It's like things likely to happen in the Super Bowl, and I'm kind of like, surely that's like, I'd never paid that sort of attention. It was like rough in the past, and I was like, I can see from here he's roughed him up. I'm like, no, because this happened or this happened. I'm like, come on, I was so close. But I did actually win out the three cards that Jordan had written up. I managed to pick the winner, so I was quite happy with that. And I had little to no idea actually really what was going on, but yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I like it when an underdog wins and or like a record is stopped as it happened. So, and then this week I was away Monday night in Peterborough, Tuesday night in Peterborough, home tonight. Was meant to be away tomorrow night, thankfully not anymore. So that helps things in terms of controlling to a certain extent what I have for dinner, which is nice. Nice. So yeah, busy, but good busy as always in my line of business.
Cheers. How about you, Josh? How are the broken hands?
They're okay. Yeah, no.
Edward Scissorhands over here.
5 weeks in on the one hand, 2 weeks in on the other. So in terms of healing, so we're going slowly in the right direction. I played football yesterday, probably shouldn't have, but as one of these things, straight back into it.
Yeah, why not?
I'm feeling pretty shit. I was pretty ill over the weekend, to be honest.
So you missed Friday night, didn't you?
So I missed Friday. It's pretty bad through Saturday, Sunday. So the Super Bowl wasn't quite as nice as I'd like it to have been. Because I stayed up and watched like one half of it, and I'm usually a massive just watched all of it. So I've been pretty ill, but it's strange actually because I kind of hoped that would help me with my weight because I had a pretty good week last week, been ill, but it seems to have gone the other way. So I'm just trying to fight back now.
It does happen. Anybody tries to retain the goodness.
So I'm just trying to. So I'm hoping it'll come off quite quick in the next couple of days, but you never know. So feeling better. Although I was feeling pretty lethargic yesterday, so I'm not going to lie. I played football and I was not myself really in terms of the amount of running I could do. But I think that's just a little bit of a hangover.
Passes though, Joshy.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
I ended up having a swim and sauna, obviously having missed football in the hotel, and sauna for the enjoyment, not sauna for the weight loss. And there was a big chap in there that had a sauna suit on as well.
Oh God.
Yeah, well, only the top half. He had a normal pair of shorts on, but had like an actual like sauna suit on, and he was like pouring water over his head. I was in there for about 15 minutes max, and he's in there like every couple of minutes, like pouring this bottle of water over his head. And as he went out, the other fella that was in there with me kind of looked over and was like, how on earth is he coping in that? I can't even sit on it. He's like, I can't even sit on the top layer. This guy was on like the top shelf bit and sat in his sauna suit. I was like, I'd worry about passing out.
Yeah,
he said
definitely.
He reckons the guy had been in there for an hour. So I don't know what he's Manvy Fat Peterborough playing tonight and doing what he needed to do last night to hit that goal. Oh my God, Everton have just scored.
No.
Oh, anyway.
Oh, it's offside. So yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, it's been on the whole been a busy week, and it will be not a spectacular loss, but I expect to be down come Friday.
Good.
Very good.
Top of the league.
Good.
Right?
Yeah.
We should probably come into that now.
Chopping and change that way.
Let's do it.
We should.
Yeah. We're nearly there in terms of our weight side of things. Another 28.5 kilos lost last week, I should say.
Very good.
Just 100 grams less than last time. Means we're only 8 kilos away from wiping out our post-Christmas hangover. 46 players lost weight out of 65. With both of those numbers representing a slight drop from our recent performance, but also another confidence step in the right direction. Which is pretty good.
Excellent.
Week 5 means bonus goals for anyone with a perfect last man standing record, and 20 perma losers boosted their team's score this time around. So there were almost as many pitch goals, with 7 of the 8 teams netting at least twice, in a set of high-scoring results. So they are as follows. The Blacks won 16-6 against the Reds. The Oranges won 16-13 against your Purples, Ben. I know that face says it all. I know listeners can't see it, but yeah, that was enough. The us Yellows lost a very close one, 8-7 against the Whites. We lost. And your Blues then, Jack, won 18-10 against the Greens. So a big result there. So it's all change at the top of the main league, with Oranges winning a high-scoring game against previous leaders Purples. Oranges are still denied the top spot themselves due to Blues' superior goal difference. Oranges are at least top of the Scales League, though, with Whites heading up the Pitch League.
Yeah, doing very well.
So Blacks are the biggest losers this last week, shifting 11 kilos despite only having 5 players losing weight out of the 8 who weighed in. Others were more consistent, with your Blues, Jack, having 8 out of 8 losing.
Yeah.
100% there. Oranges 8 out of 9, and Yellows 6 out of 7 losing.
Very good, mate.
So
I think there should be a bonus for I'm not just saying it because we did it this time around, but I reckon if everybody turns up and loses weight in a team, there should be a bonus bonus goal or something. I know you get it for the amount of people that have lost, but just to do it 100% is quite rare, isn't it? I know that we find ourselves in situations that sometimes there's one that hasn't, or for whatever reason. I just think it'd be quite nice or even as just a kind of our own little thing, something to recognise that. It'd be pretty cool. 100% club.
The 100% club. Yeah, but then you end up with goals all over the place. There's already bonus
That's
goals
true,
left, right, and centre.
Yeah, and I also think there's a potential, and I know Steve's listening. There's a potential where you would have people not turn up because there's more bonus. There's worth it bonus if they feel like they're going to let the team down. So let's just say there you had 8 people turning up normally. 2 of those people feel like they might be really close or not going to quite do it, and the rest of you are pretty sound. You think you're going to do it. Is there a benefit to you having then 6 players? I know in that specific scenario you'd have a ringer, but is there a chance that someone won't turn up, or 2 of them won't turn up because they're going to ruin it? Yeah, even though actually they would gain a goal between them for both turning up to lose weight if they did lose weight. So I don't know. Maybe that's pessimism talking, but
I think they're constantly fine tuning the way that the scoring works, aren't they? And I'm sure they're open to suggestions, but you have to kind of cap the level of bonus goals at some point.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
because you get more. Obviously, you score more goals with the more people lose weight, so that's the incentive. If 9 of you lose weight, you score maximum 5 goals. So that's the incentive right there. So they're effectively bonus goals, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, fair point.
Yeah. There are 3 milestones to celebrate this week. Yeah. And although all 3 were part of winning teams, only one saw his milestone bonus clinch victory on its own. Booing milestones.
That's a new low for you, Ben.
I was cheering it last week.
Competitiveness there.
Sorry, I'm not.
Danny Pidgley's 5% was just enough to turn a hard-fought draw with the Purples into a famous win for the Oranges. Paul Harding also joined the 5% club, although his Blacks already enjoyed a comfortable margin of victory. Nevertheless, it's a fine achievement for both men and a reward for the progress they've made so far. The biggest milestone of the week came from Harry Reid of the Blues, who reached his 20%. He's lost 26.8 kilos since joining the club and 5.7 kilos this season, which, let's not forget, includes his Christmas celebrations. So fantastic work, Harry, mate. Keep it up.
Animal. Well done, mate.
Very good going.
He didn't even know that he'd done it, by the way, as well.
Really?
Yeah, in terms of conversations, between conversations of him and Steve, somehow it didn't come up after he had weighed in. I can't remember how he said it had happened, but he didn't realise, and we got a message. He's like, "Oh, by the way, I hit my 20% tonight."
Love it. Was someone who's so consistently losing weight, they're losing track of their latest milestones and just keep going, plugging away.
Yeah, absolutely smashed it.
Yeah, there were 9 hat tricks. So yourself, Ben, well done. Martin Boone, Paul Briggs, Ant Skirman, Connor Skirman, Michael Batt, Paul Sahota, Lloyd Croxford, and Sam Denton. So we should mention at this point that Paul Harding of the Blacks also got his hat-trick last week. It was counted in the scores, by the way, we should say last time, but somehow Steve managed to miss his name from last week's Roll of Honour. So that's just sorry for there, Paul, and that's to get up from last week. Only 3 players went out of last man standing, which means no survivor goals this week. 8 survived at the expense of their Grace Week, and will need to do better in next 7 days to avoid, well, in our case, today, as this comes out, to avoid leaving the competition. So 33 remain, meaning it's just 3 needed to go out for all others to score a goal. So on the brink this week.
Yeah.
New signing, Oliver Shearing, leads Team of the Week. So losing 4.3 kilos just 1 week after his initial weigh-in. It's a terrific start to his Mavi Fat career and hopefully a sign of more progress to come.
Well done.
Very well done.
Really good.
The rest and straight into, I believe, last week into Thursday Night Football. I could be corrected.
Yeah.
Maybe so straight in there as well. So getting involved. It's a good sign early on.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. The rest of the top team is a mix of long-established club members and newer signings, and the standard this week is impressively high. So there are 2 players who lost 1.8 kilos but still fail to make the cut.
Oh.
So here's the lineup.
Fuming.
Yeah. So Oliver Shearing lost 4.3 kilos. Dan Lloyd, yes, go down, mate, lost 3.7 kilos.
Well done, Dan.
Back on track, mate. Very well done, mate. Very well done. Very well deserved. Coming back. I know he's been ill recently as well, and he's had some things to deal with. So very good going there, mate. Very good going. Tom Davey lost 3.6 kilos. Steve Carton lost 2.8 kilos. Lloyd Croxford lost 2.3 kilos. Luke Cage lost 2.1 kilos. And Danny Pidgley lost 2.1 kilos as well.
Wow, there's some serious numbers in there, isn't it?
Yeah, no, all over 2 kilos.
Yeah.
Back to the highs and highs. That's the real highs, that is, isn't it?
Yes,
really
absolutely.
Royalty as such. So big losses like those grab the headlines. But remember, it's the steady, sustainable week-to-week losses that get you where you want to go. It's all about the direction of travel, not the speed of the journey as such. And it's worth taking things steadily if that means not having to go back and start again after putting it all back on. So wherever you are right now on that journey, we just keep going.
Yeah,
go again as such.
That's it.
So that's it for the roundup.
Good work. Yeah, so we relinquished our temporary lead of the league there to the Oranges. They were paying us back for last season. Well, yeah, Oranges are tied at the top, aren't they? They got us back for last season when we beat them the second last game of the season to win, to clinch the title. So they got their just revenge.
Yeah.
Good game, actually. It was a good game.
Yeah. Sorry I missed them, to be fair. And that reminds me, I don't have all the information, the pitch info from all the teams.
You need the pitch info.
Yeah.
What
I have from some
missing?
of them, I just can't remember. Oh, I honestly cannot remember. I'm pretty confident, Jack, you sent me yours for your...
Yeah,
sent
and I sent purples as well.
Oranges as well.
Oranges game, yeah.
I would have obviously got ours from yellows, but just the yellow side of things, although I'm pretty confident it was a 2-0 win. So
leaves greens and reds then, does it?
Yes, I think I got the information from the Reds. So
it might just be greens
then.
It
might just be the greens then.
I'm sure
and
Mr.
someone else
Cage will help you.
Blacks, no, Lewis sent me the black stuff, so yeah.
Yeah,
so maybe I'll just...
How many goals did he get?
Oh, Lewis himself, as far as I'm aware, he didn't get any this week.
Oh.
Sorry if I'm wrong there, Lewis. I haven't immediately checked this information. But I have updated that side of things. So, and just until I get to the update, I'm not going to update the pitch side of things. Like top score and stuff.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
However, week 5 meant the weigh-ins for our WWE.
Oh, here we go.
Yes, belts. The belts.
So
we've got winners.
We do have winners.
Yes.
We do indeed have winners who are about to receive a championship belt to don over their shoulders, or if they can fit it around their waist, but I think that's highly unlikely. Sorry, lads. So we will start in the lightweight for the lightweight champion belt for round 1. So season 12, I believe we're on round 1.
Remind us what weights they are, Josh. Anything
under who started under 90 kilos.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, for this one. So in third place for that one, we had James Hunt, who lost 3.5 kilos.
Well done, James.
In the last 4 weeks.
Jamesy.
Then in second place, someone who was leading this category almost every week until this last one, Mr. Gareth Hensby.
Oh, he's come second.
Who lost 4.2 kilos in the last 4 weeks.
And still came second.
Second.
Brutal.
And then your lightweight champion of Man v Fat Bournemouth for round 1 of this season.
And the world.
Yes, and the world. Steve Carlton of the Oranges, who lost 4.5 kilos.
Well done, Steve.
On the last one.
Amazing work. Nick it off Gareth as well.
Yeah, gutted. Same team though. Fair play, they win it for the Orange.
Sorry, Gaz, I'm sure you're listening as well. So pipped at the post there by Steve Carlton, who is the lightweight champion for this round.
Well done, mate.
Congratulations.
Well done. And receive the belt for the next few weeks. The middleweight then. So third place for the middleweight champion as such. Lloyd Croxford, who managed to lose 4.1 kilos over 4 weeks and came third.
Well done.
Then in second place, a name who has been mentioned in this category relatively consistently for the last few weeks, Adam White, who lost 4.2 kilos
over
the last 4 weeks.
There's an orange theme going on here, isn't there?
Look at that.
Now, the middleweight champion of the world, as you put it, for this round is Mr. Paul Harding of the Blacks, who lost 5.3 kilos in the 4 weeks.
Well done.
To win middleweight championship belt for this round.
Work.
Very well done there, mate. Very well done. On to the heavyweight then, and this is the closest yet. This was very close. 0.2 of a kilo.
Oof.
And I know there's some competitors across the league who are quite keen on this one. A couple of people I know. So, in third place, in just 1 week of weighing in, Mr. Oliver Shearing lost 4.3 kilos.
Nice work. Well done.
In technically, well, actually, it was more like joint second, because in second place by the virtue, or joint second, was Mr. Josh Buxton, who managed to lose 4.3 kilos as well.
Well done, mate.
In those 4 weeks. And then the heavyweight champion of Man v Fat, or the world, for this round, Mr. Ryan Broadbank.
Yes,
lost 4.5 kilos.
You Blues.
Over the last 4 weeks, and wins the heavyweight championship belt for this round. Done.
Do you know what's hilarious with Ryan as well? We got a message Friday morning. He texts going, "Boys are fucked up. I've got no idea. I'm up. I had no idea that I've been so good. I've no idea what's going on." And then he rocked up, weighed in, and he was like a kilo down. He's like, "I misread the numbers on my email." So he'd been stressing all day. He probably lost the weight just out of stress.
He probably
did. He'd been stressing all day, and he ended up winning that.
Well,
so that's sick.
He lost enough to pip his teammate, and our last week's guest, Josh Buxton, by 0.2 of a kilo over the last 4 weeks, and Oliver obviously to win the heavyweight one.
Absolutely, yes, you've poked the bear as well, trying to win anything off Josh Buxton. And by the way, he's, as he mentioned, his ultra competitiveness will certainly come out now, and keep an eye out for him for next time round. But yeah, sick. Congratulations, everyone. Well done.
Yeah, really well done.
Really good.
Very well done. So that's just as a note moving forward. So whatever you weighed in this last week, so week 5, will be the starting weight of the next 4 weeks of round 2 for these belts.
Cool.
So if you may have changed category in that time, I believe Ryan Broadbank may be among those people who has changed category over those few weeks. So the categories, I think it's under 90 for lightweight, between 90 and 110 for middleweight, and over 110 for heavyweight. So I think some people have gone from just over 110 to just under, for example. So they've moved categories.
Lightweight to middleweight, but that was after Christmas, so
so that's this, as I say, this last week was your starting weight for the next 4.
Cool.
From there.
Nice.
Very good. Onwards. So going to award those on the week on Friday. You're going to give
on
those
Friday,
out?
Yes. And we'll bring them with us.
In time, we'll get the names etched onto them, however we manage to do it, but names will be on there forever. in stone on the belts. So it'll basically read, for instance, with Ryan's, it will be Ryan Broadbank, season 14. Are we in?
12.
Season 12, round 1. It would be. Am I going 12? Crazy? Yeah, season 12, round 1. So S12 R1, and then each time on from now on, it will say what round it is for whichever season it is, and we go from there.
Yes. So there'll be 3 a season.
Yeah.
That's what breaks. So essentially, I haven't 100% decided amongst us guys what we're going to do about the spare weeks. So whether we extend the last one or we, because it'll be do 12 weeks and plus there'll be a spare week at the end of the season potentially. So,
yeah, nice, love it. It ties in quite nicely with talking about the end of the season. We are still, I know I mentioned last week, but we are definitely looking to arrange the end of rotation celebration, awards evening, whatever it may be, in collaboration
with
the
charity event.
Exactly, in collaboration with Steve doing his end of season that we're in awards for teams, losers, biggest losers, all those sorts of things. And we also are going to be in collaboration with the 23 MPH boys, and the charity we'll be doing for is Dorset Mind again. So again, I mentioned last week, but this week, if you are listening for the first time or have considered it or whatever, if you have the ability to obtain anything or have something you'd like to give that you deem as a prize that's suitable for a raffle, we will have a big charity raffle. Speak to your bosses, speak to your businesses, do what you can. I'm going to speak to some local businesses if anybody else is willing to help me do that, and tout around what we plan on doing and why we're doing it. Yeah. And hopefully we can dig out some good prizes like last time and have something to really walk away with and enjoy.
Yeah. I still owe Dave he never claimed his. He's got tickets to shows and he's not claimed them yet. So I'll drop him a message and say
I still have a voucher for aid on my desk for golf. He is aware, and I spoke to him last week, actually, funny enough, and he said we'll wait until the weather gets a little bit better for that. So Fair. That was the only other ones I can think of. So yeah, please get involved and keep your eyes peeled. We will start to.
So we got a date. We got a date penciled for that.
Yes.
So
12th.
It'll be 12th of April, Saturday.
12th of April. That's right.
Happy days.
Thankfully, it's not the bank holiday weekend. That's the weekend after, so it works out quite nicely.
Venue TBC as well, right?
We won't be having a Man v Fat the Friday after either, will we? Because it will be Good Friday.
Easter.
Yes, it will be Good Friday. So the whole idea of a spare week between the rotation, which we didn't get last time, we will automatically get this time, just by virtue of where it lands.
Yeah.
Which is quite convenient. So gives people a little bit of time to sort out new rotation.
And generally what we try to do, again, for the newer people that haven't been around last Easter, we will try and still play some football if people still fancy that Friday night. I think generally the booking, as long as the place is open, the booking's still valid. Just Man v Fat don't run an official night that night. We probably will do some sort of kick around or somebody will arrange something for sure. So keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Any other housekeeping before we move on to bits and bobs?
Well, I have a special announcement.
Oh.
I have a lose to win scoop for Man versus Fat Bournemouth.
Are we now going to be investigative journalists? Is that essentially what we are going to be now?
Well, listen, you'll love
Can I call the boss and quit or not? That's all I need to
know. No, nothing quite like that.
I mean, sugar. Sorry, Taylor. Not that F word. Sorry.
So, as you are aware, recently there were the votes for awards, right?
Yes.
For the Man versus Fat awards. So this is kind of linked to that, but not directly. So, as you are aware, every year Man versus Fat has a game for the biggest losers of the season, right?
Okay.
And last year we were very fortunate to be represented by the one and only Mike Welsh, who went up.
Yeah, Super Mike.
Man versus Fat Bournemouth. Well, this year, one of our members has also received an invitation to go and play in the Biggest Losers match.
Wow. Okay.
Ooh.
And the news is hot off the press, literally today. And you may guess who it might be.
I think we've got a good idea.
But
a tall chap.
It is our very own Mr. Matthew Waterman.
Oh,
did you think Ollie?
Nice. Yeah,
you said tall chap. Yeah, I was thinking Matt the whole time.
Yeah, very well done, mate, Matt. Seriously,
so
very
Matt
well.
basically he said it in the group today, and I said yesterday, and I said, have you said anything to anyone yet? He was like, no. And then he said to me today, you doing the pod tonight? I said, yeah. So he said, do you want to do a cheeky little announcement to everybody? So we're keeping it under wraps until this comes out on Friday. But yeah, he got a letter yesterday, which was the Tuesday.
Very done.
You're invited.
Well deserved.
Play.
Thoroughly.
And just
amazing.
Well deserved.
Give him some stats brilliant. That he's done. He's so as of last Friday, he has lost 40.2 kilos since he started, which is 34.5% of his weight. He's currently in maintenance, but he is still losing. His target is he wants to hit his unofficial 35%. He can't hit 35% because he's in maintenance, but he wants to hit 35%, which is his personal target. And he's going to try and convince Steve to give him a 35% certificate. And I think he probably should, to be fair.
Yeah.
That is some achievement.
Incredible.
The time that he's done it. He's done that in two and a bit seasons, basically.
Yeah.
Or maybe 2.5 seasons max, which is quite an incredible achievement. So to be invited up to that, to get invited, I don't know if anyone else has been invited. I don't know if Steve knows if he's been invited. So this is a bit of it's a scoop for us to win podcast to announce that. So he's super proud, and of course we're super proud of him, and I'm sure the lads at Man v at Bournemouth will be super proud of him as well.
And absolutely, I'm certainly keen to come along and support. I think last time
the night before. I think it's on a Friday night, but I think it's the night before the Man v Fat Awards.
Is it really?
I think. I don't know. I don't know.
So that'll be, is that May, June-ish time?
May, it's the mid of May.
Okay.
Yeah. But it might be the week before. It might be the week before the awards. I can't remember. He did tell me, but I can't remember.
Well, last time, I can't remember when it was, but there was a reason I unfortunately couldn't make it for Mr.
Yeah, I think we
Nike, but I will try my best. So it'd be nice to...
But he may not be the only one invited from Man v Bournemouth, because we've got other people who have lost considerable amounts of weight as well. So it may be that, there's a couple of others who may not have got their letter yet. So by Friday, when this goes out, there may even be a couple more. You never know.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah,
that'd be incredible.
That'd be phenomenal. Yeah.
Does he know where it is yet? That they told him where the game is?
I think it's Leyton Orient, I want to say.
Oh, okay. It was Millwall last time, I think.
It was Millwall last time. Let me just double check.
This is where they said it would be Dean Court, and that'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Call the turnout you'd get. It'd be the Matt Waterman Support Club.
It is.
What a player to have on your 11-side team as well, by the way.
And it's May the 23rd. Friday, May the 23rd, which makes me think it is the day before the awards. I've got a feeling the awards are on the 24th. But I don't know. I think it would be odd for them to arrange that game the day before the awards. Give them a very busy weekend. Yeah.
A lot of admin to do and whatever.
But anyway, there you go. Well done, Matt. That's unbelievable, mate. Fantastic. I know, obviously, he's going to be listening, and super proud, mate. So well done. Fantastic.
Yeah, well done, mate.
Very well deserved. And yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? There you go. Really new, good. Fresh motivation.
There's your target.
Got to get there. Yeah.
Get that letter.
Yeah. Great. Fantastic.
That's incredible. Yeah. Do we know? I don't know if we said this. Do we know who's managing and stuff yet?
I don't know if it's been announced. I don't know who's managing or who's. No, I don't think it's been announced. Last year, was it Paul Parker and Terry Butcher last year?
I think, yeah.
Arian.
Ari.
Hazard.
Matt can get a lift up with him.
Yeah. He'd love him though, being a Bournemouth boy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Amazing. That's so good.
Amazing. Yeah. That's I don't really know what to say. You left an announcement. I feel like I'm going to bring it back down to earth a little bit.
It's a bit, what's really next on the agenda, Josh?
Well, I was just going to talk about because you guys have been involved in many rotations.
Yes, everyone.
So I mean, how many is it now? 3 or 4 now. So this will be the 4th one coming up.
The 4th one coming up. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And I know you, Matt, you guys have been successful. I know Ben in particular. I know you've been very successful in each one of them, haven't you? Each of the rotations, which I'm sure you won't let us forget about. But
I don't talk about it much.
Don't like to mention
it. But it's one of these things where I always think, because there tends to be, not always, but there tends to be a couple of teams maybe who may struggle towards the end of a rotation, and it may be from a previous season, it may be just that season.
Mm-hmm.
And I always think to myself, because actually that's one of the better seasons I had was towards the end of last rotation, is what you guys, have you got any advice for people who may be in that position where they're struggling for motivation towards the end of a rotation in their teams? It could just be that they've had absences that for no fault of anyone else, just injuries, things like this that derail the season, as we know it can do sometimes.
Yeah.
What you do in towards, because obviously the last thing I guess you want to do is start putting weight back on and just not really caring so much. But you know what you mean, just you managed to get it into your head, that things for rotations coming, and that you might just be kind of thinking ahead a bit too much.
It's a really difficult one, isn't it? I think what you have to try and do is take it out, take it back to a personal level about why you're there and why you're doing what you're doing, because ultimately every individual joins for their own individual reasons, but you do join as an individual. So if your team is struggling and certain members of that team, fade away or leave, or the motivation's gone and go, well, there's no point until the next rotation, I think it's important for each individual to remember why they're there, and try and embrace that for themselves personally, to continue to try and push and continue to try and better themselves and continue to try and lose that little bit of extra weight. Okay, the competitive side of the actual games may wane a little bit, which of course is demoralizing, but you've got to remember that at the end of the day, you're trying to better yourself, you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to become more healthy, and that doesn't stop just because your team might not be doing as well in the league. And to reiterate that to the rest of the team probably is a good shout. I mean, there's no getting away from the fact that if you are in a team that it has struggled through not necessarily any fault of their own, whether it be circumstance because people are away on holiday, or circumstance because people are injured, or circumstance because you get a bit of bad luck at the beginning, which means you're off the pace from the start, you've got to try and maintain that motivation for your own personal benefit. I think that's the only thing I could say. I mean, we've had some varying successes over the few seasons, but we have had seasons where we may have won it the season before, and then the season after, people's motivation has kind of waned because they've done it, and then it's difficult to motivate yourself to go again. And then at the end of that season, it just kind of peters out. And but I've always tried to maintain that kind of, come on, we know why we're here. This is why we're here. Let's not forget that. But everyone's different, I would, I mean, wouldn't be my advice, is just to think about it on a personal level, and remember why you're there, and try and keep going. Yes, of course, the rotation brings a new life and is used zest, and sometimes people do look forward to it. But yeah, just remember why we're all there in the first place, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jack, what do you think?
I echo absolutely everything you've said. I think, and I've certainly been in there, not necessarily just at the end of a rotation, but been in there in a circumstance where that motivation drops, and I know full well in my head why I'm doing it, what I want to do it, but still there's a block. At times there's a block, and an unnecessary one, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So in my head, I just know I have to keep that constant reminder. This season feels different for me. And I think success breeds success, doesn't it? So if you're doing well and other people around you are doing well, it should the idea is that continue, and that's where the team unity comes in.
Yeah.
It is difficult at times when you have a mixture, and we know that we've got a mixture of people within the league that are there to lose weight and absolutely smash it every week. People that have been there for a long time, like me, that lose little amounts and then comes back again and up yo-yos a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got people that are there that if they lose weight, great, but they enjoy the football probably more than anything. And everyone's welcome. It's not for us to say who can and can't. If they're paying their money and they qualify for it, then they're welcome to it. I think the key thing is finding that fire, almost identical to what you said. So I'm conscious of kind of repeating, but you got to find that desire, find that fire within you to what is your motivation? What is that? Are you there for losing weight? Are you really, is that what really matters to you? And if it does, how can you do it? What can you do step by step? And it's the grant me serenity, isn't it? To control what you can control day by day. You take that step to control what you can that day, and piece by piece adds together, and your day by day turns into week by week, turns into month by month, turns into year by year. Very easy to say, a lot more difficult to do, because if it was that easy, we wouldn't be in this particular circumstance that we're in now. So I echo, and I've been lucky enough to be involved in winning teams, and second season after it can have its effect and can be a bit difficult. And I've also been in teams that motivation feels like it's almost lost from the start, and it's at that point, who can you help in around you? If you are that motivator, if you are that radiator in your team, or the climate controller as they call them in your team, who around you can you help? Who around you can you buddy up with and go, right, if you and I do it together, we're good, and if those two do it together, we're good. And you start creating a mass between you that are in the right place. That would probably be my probably outstanding, like, headline kind of answer to it. That's what I would do. And if you're in that team, or if this is kind of, you sat there listening and going, oh, I think that's me, I think I find myself in that situation, then dig deep, find somebody, buddy up, set some challenges against each other. Try and beat each other on a step challenge. Try and share your calories daily with each other. Find somebody that wants to do it as well. If somebody doesn't want to do it, you can't force them to do it. But if there will be somebody within your team that go, do you know what, I could really do with that, actually. It could really help. It makes such a difference. And this is why it's more than just a weight loss program. There's a camaraderie amongst all of us that makes it work. And I think going back to old conversations, it's almost something that I think Man v Fat probably have stumbled upon, the thinking about doing a weight loss side of things and thinking do it with football, great idea, but do they really realize the impact it has on groups of men like us and what we all mean to each other and how we've all built these bonds? It's something that you can't fake, you can't replicate, you can't change, if that makes sense. And we've forever now done this and have this to remember. So each day by day would be my thing, and find somebody that you can buddy up with.
Oh, amazing. No, thanks very much.
My pleasure.
Don't personally have too much to add per se.
As
I say, you guys have done it so eloquently already, so there's not much for me to add. I just thought it was something worth discussing, and potentially for listeners, because obviously I know, as you said, Jack, there'll be people in different kind of sections who kind of, there'll be some might even be not quite sure what they really want yet out of it on some level. So I think if anything helps them to move in that to move to a direction that works for them, then
I know Steve says one of his favorite moments is seeing the penny drop with somebody that may have been there for a period of time, and he sees that it's not necessarily somebody coming back or somebody losing extraordinary amounts of weight. Obviously that's fantastic for him, but his thing is, and I can only relate to it in terms of coaching kids football, when you see the effort and energy you put into somebody and try and coach them and try and help them suddenly start to turn into performances or turn into behavioral changes, or like things happening that they understand, and something happens. If it's like you see that penny drop, and he said that's the moment that he really kind of loves and desires, and that's what works for him. And I completely get that. And if you can help somebody get to that point, amazing, absolutely amazing.
Definitely. So there you go.
Thank you.
Whilst
Thank you very much.
On a completely different note, I know you guys are not watching it. I'm just in the background. I have been slightly distracted. Everton just scored an equaliser to make it 2-2 in the last kick of the game, and then it all kicked off and there's been like a massive brawl on the pitch when the final whistle went. Decore's been sent off if anybody's got him in their team, and there's literally like a brawl of there's like police separating players and all sorts.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did just notice my fantasy score had suddenly dropped.
Who did you have?
I had Arnie Slot as assistant manager, so he lost some winning points for that, so he got a draw.
Yeah.
Anyone who had David Moyes is onto a bloody winner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so we could move on to that if you want. If you guys are happy to move on to some fantasy for a bit.
Absolutely, yeah. I just seen Craig share his fantasy score was quite an impressive one. I don't know what difference it's made now. He's at 157, I think.
Oof, 157.
He's currently sitting on 165.
Wow.
Without bonus
for the week. No, that's including bonus. So he's done. So that's 165. His week is. Mine, to give you context, was 116.
Okay.
So, and he's given up that lead to Craig. Craig's now top of our paid Manby Bournemouth Fantasy League. Yeah.
Yeah.
Followed by Ruben, followed by yourself, Ben.
I've got 130.
You got 139 on here. So
130 with bonuses as well, yeah.
87 from Salah alone.
Boom shakalak.
Wow.
Because he triple captained him, yeah.
He tripled.
Yeah, and then
I'll take that.
Still have bloody Chris Wood for a hat trick as well. So
I left Cunha on the bench though. I left Cunha on the bench. Never mind.
Right. So there you go. And I think that might work out very well for people who did triple captain because Liverpool are out of the FA Cup, which means that it's unlikely that apart from this next week, game week 25, they won't have any doubles.
No. Yeah.
So we'll see whoever's got triple captain left, like me, when we can play it. Because I'm playing assistant manager, I've got this double, and then
you got next.
I can't play triple captain this week, based.
Yeah, same as me. So I'm in the same position. You
can't play another chip when manager chips him.
Yeah, so you can't play another chip when assistant managers, and that's active for 3 weeks. So the double,
you can't deactivate it either, can you?
No, double just gone. And then the next double, which is Liverpool again, I've got a double. So I've got Arnie Slot. So I'll have had him for 4 games in 2 weeks, essentially. And then I'll decide afterwards what I'm going to do. In terms of this, game week 25, so Aston Villa and Liverpool double. So Liverpool have got Villa and what else they got? Wolves. And Villa have got Leicester and Liverpool. So if you've got assistant manager Emery. And you had David Moyes, I would move to Emery.
Yeah,
if you have
Emery, I think.
If you have not used the assistant manager, it depends. I would go Arnie Slot still if you have the money. Because I think it's likely they'll win both.
Yeah, but what if Villa beat Liverpool?
Well, yeah, of course. Then Emery's an absolute winner. Completely worth it.
They're on the ropes, man. They're on the ropes.
Yeah, well. Maybe
I'm going Villa. I'm going all in on Villa.
We'll see, but I don't think I think people who've probably got 3 Liverpool already or 2 Liverpool in the Arnie Slot, I think you just don't change that at all. You just keep going.
Do you have to have?
I wouldn't break the bank to get
3 players. Does he have to be one of your 3?
He does.
Oh, he does. Oh,
so if you've got, for example, Ben, if you've got Salah, Diaz, and Becker, and Alisson, you would have to get rid of one of your Liverpool players to get Arnie Slot.
Yeah.
So Emery makes sense, I guess, in your spot. I wouldn't be going out of my way to get like loads of Aston Villa players, to be honest. Mainly because they don't play in 29 as well. So
but I think I'm going to dead end into them anyway. So.
Yeah, so same. But I'll have 3 Liverpool, Rodgers, and someone else who won't be playing 29. That's it, basically.
Yeah.
By then I won't have. I'll only have 2 Liverpool because I have Arnie Slot. So by then, it'll be easy for me to manage. So and then probably wild card between 30 and 33.
Oh, Arnie Slot got sent off.
Oh no!
Did he?
Oh no!
How does that affect you?
I think personally, from what I can remember, it won't make a difference because they said that, and by the way, don't quote me on this, but they basically said essentially what you're getting is a team, not a manager per se. So, for example, if the manager was fired during the period you owned an assistant manager, you would just keep keep the team. Yeah. Okay. So I think it's more about team rather than manager.
That would be harsh.
Specifically. Oh yeah, mate. I don't know. But if Arnie Slot got sent off, I'd be interested to find out what they would actually do in fantasy and whether they would just actually consider him not playing at all for one game. You know, I'd be interested.
God.
I don't think that's the case personally, and I would wait for news.
Him out though, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'd just move into Emery if I had to. I would just move into Emery. One thing I will say just quickly before I keep rambling forever about my team specifically is that it might be. I don't know, but I'm hearing things that João Pedro probably won't play this weekend.
Right.
And as such, he's one of my forwards along with Ndai. So if Ollie Watkins is fit, if he is declared fit and available before this weekend, there is a chance I take a -4.
Ooh. And
that'll be to get a Bournemouth midfielder, because I think Bournemouth, if you're not sure what you're doing with chips moving forward, Bournemouth are just a great assets to get. And I'm not saying that as a bias at the moment. They're about to play Southampton. They're so cheap. They're about to play Southampton. They have a game in 29 guaranteed, and the games before and after 29 are very good. So they've basically, and they're playing brilliantly. So Kluivert's the best one to get, probably then Semenyo, then Ouattara if you're midfield. That's what I suggest. At the back, I would go Howson over Kirkes because he's cheaper, but both are equally good, basically. Yeah. So if I'm probably going to get rid of Bruno Fernandes for, say, Ouattara, and then sell João Pedro to Ollie Watkins, so I don't have to sell Isak.
Nice.
If Ollie Watkins is fit. So if he isn't, I will just keep it as is and play Ndai versus Crystal Palace, and then just move on whoever they're playing next, someone like that. So and then roll a transfer. So that's it. It's either a -4 or nothing.
I can confirm as well, you will not receive any negative points for your chosen manager if your chosen manager teams or manager receives a red card.
That's all right then. You're all right then, Joshy.
Yeah, saved.
I'll have to. Pardon me.
Amazing,
I have to watch back and see what happened. It proper kicked off. Like I said, there was police on the pitch.
That was literally the last kick of the game, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, basically, whilst we've been talking, I did see a little clip, and I think what happened is Decore had ran past Curtis Jones and given him some verbals, and so then Curtis Jones and somebody else chased after him, and then that's when the melee started, and Arnie Slot got sent off for complaining, I think, at the end.
So, mate, I know what I should have talked to you about this week, mate, just to get you really firing, is the Lewis Skelly celebration and the backlash after that. Is it, Lewis? Should have got you.
Arsenal beat City 5-1, and we get more abuse than City do. Arsenal beat City 5-1, we get more abuse than fucking Liverpool do for losing to Plymouth. Like, fuck off. Like, I know we're flavour of the week and everybody loves to stick a boot in, so it's I guess.
I just thought it was funny. I just think
the attention.
Don't get him going. There'll be another 20 minutes on this.
Happy to have the attention. If that's what people want to do, they can do it.
Oh no! I just thought I just know it's been in public discourse recently. The whole,
and obviously Havertz today being confirmed that he's fucking torn his hamstring and he might even miss the beginning of next season. So we have zero chance of doing fuck all. Liverpool could have lost 15-0 tonight and then still win the league. The only other chance of somebody catch him now looks like fucking Forest.
Yeah, well, Bournemouth. Right. Anyway, so just to say, it's amazing in fantasy. I got 116, as I said, and I got a red arrow, as in I'm losing rank. Wow. So that's how big a week it was. Yeah. The safety score for me was 122, so I needed to score 122 or more to gain rank, which is just insane when you consider some weeks you can score 40 and get a green arrow.
Yeah.
Ah, well,
you could get it back next week though, mate, and you still got your TC, so you know.
I've got triple captain, bench boost, free hit, and wildcard still, so I'm feeling pretty confident. It's just the options to use those are worse now than they were 2 weeks ago.
Of course.
So in hindsight, I probably would have played triple captain this week on this week gone.
But for tonight, it paid off though, didn't it? Or just about, you were about break even, weren't you, with people triple captain Salah before tonight's performance?
I'll have to find out, but the difference between non-triple captain and captain is somewhere in the region of 19 points.
I captained him, not triple captain. He got 52. That's before bonuses tonight.
Maybe 30. No, maybe 29 points. Sorry. Okay. So that's quite a big difference. But then I would have gained 15 back from having Arnie slot.
Yeah.
So 14 difference then.
Not
disastrous. I lost 14 points basically.
It's not disastrous.
But the fact that you've still got your triple captain to use, that's...
Yeah, the only thing I will say is it means now, because you've used your triple captain, you can use your assistant manager now, so you won't lose anything against people who have.
Yeah.
Apart from depending on who you choose this week for assistant manager. That's the only thing I will say.
You just need that golden nugget weekend that Salah scores a hat-trick against somebody shit, and everybody else wish I had it that weekend.
We'll see. It depends what's coming. You know, if Cole Palmer's got Southampton and bloody Ipswich and a double later on in the season, I'll just use it then. You know, it's just one of these things. I'm not saying he will, but I'm just, hypothetically.
Liverpool got a tough couple of fixtures, actually, looking at it. They've got, please don't think this is me going, we've got any chance. We really don't. But they've got Wolves next, which I think can only see them winning, but then they've got City, and City can be a completely different team every night, as they've proven.
Villa before that, City, and
then a midweeker against Newcastle. Newcastle are a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Saints, there's your banker, Josh. There's your triple captain week. Saints on the game week 28.
They're going to start to become a bit dangerous though, Southampton, because they've got nothing to worry
on the beach.
Yeah, totally. They got nothing to play for, so they can just go out and enjoy themselves. So it's freebies. They'll go and do whatever they can do.
Yeah, I didn't realise. So they still. I thought this was, of course, tonight's a rearranged fixture, so they still have another Merseyside derby as well, which is only a couple of weeks away.
That'll be fun.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's weekend of the 2nd of April, say a couple of weeks, 2 months away. But yeah, that could be interesting. But we shall see, eh?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's it, boys. Shall we say? For now?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
This week?
No added extras this week, please, Josh. We all know what I'm talking about there.
Yes, don't worry. I've just got to remember to do a little bit in the middle,
If you know, you know.
Remember to edit that.
But yeah, have a great week, boys, and we'll see you all Friday night.
Yeah,
and thanks for listening.
Yep. Cheers, guys.
Take care.
Speak to you soon. Bye.